I just woke up a few minutes ago. It's 4:24 a.m. and I was about to call the police because I just got a visit from Gabrielle Franklin into my apartment. Apparently, she came in and sexually assaulted me 3 times while I was sleeping on my bed, and molested me, and then pierced my right thigh, my left foot, the big toe there just got twisted, and the right foot, the heel. I called 911, but 911 didn't take the call like normal. This is an ongoing thing with this Haitian woman and John MacArthur. And I thought MacArthur was a church leader, but MacArthur is not. And this woman has been given the right by the U.S. government to do this. There is something wrong with this country and these people. She's sitting right now in the background, hiding and talking on an open microphone. It's like somebody coming in with a needle and just, you know what a needle looks like, right? A needle is one of these things here. I'll show you. She's been doing this for years. I mean, this isn't something that just started, you know. And they will not stop. I mean, nothing. They've got the protection of the Bush administration. They've got the protection of the government. So this isn't going to stop anytime soon. You know, it's one of these. This is what a needle is. You see this? And when you take this and you stick it into, here's my hand here, you stick it into somebody's flesh. You know, this is what she's using. Every night she's coming in and she's sticking this in the ball of my feet and in my thigh and wherever she wants to after she has sex with my sleeping body. She's an 80-something-year-old Haitian woman, and she is determined to either force me back to Haiti. She is determined to get her way, and this is her serpent. This is her judgment stick. This is what she uses every single night and sticks it in my body. It is so painful. As small as this thing is, I mean, no different than a serpent's bite. You could put venom on top of this. You know, you dip this in venom and it could kill someone. Okay? I mean, she's done this probably more than 1,000 times. Right? More than 1,000 times. You know, 3-4 times during the course of the night. You know, somebody taking your feet. You know, I want to show you here. And I want to show you. And literally, see, sticking it underneath right here. See, right there. Inside. It's very painful. Day after day, night after night, year after year, week after week, month after month. And the police department will not come because they're the ones who gassed the apartment, knocked me out, let her in, and she comes in with this right here to stick it inside. This isn't acupuncture. This is judgment. This is painful. Understand? Once or twice, fine. But every single night, the same thing being stuck inside of your body, this is like a snake. You dip this in venom, and surely it will kill someone. This woman is in her 80s. Her son is in his 60s. Yesterday, I completed a video catching up with Kevin Duclairon. It was about an hour long. They sabotaged the sound of the video so that you couldn't hear it. Then they asked me to go across the river. Then they tried to entice me with some homosexuals at 24 hours. And then that had my mother's face and the body of one of the high school students that I had known back in high school. And it's like, this as a homosexual community, this is what they do all day long. They follow me and try to entice me and try to get me aroused toward them using their butt or their handsome faces to try to get me turned on. And my response is to submit to them and then to give them sex at Taboo or Fantasy. Give them sex, rectum sex, anal sex, butt sex with whoever they send. And when I don't give it to them, they forcefully come into the apartment. And the police department is the one that helps them do this. The police, the Portland police, the Seattle police, the police department helps them. And then this is the judgment. This is what they use. Okay? This is what they're using to punish me. This right here. This is so painful. You have no idea how painful this is. This is what they've been punishing me with for the last Mark Rodriguez, John MacArthur, Gabrielle Franklin, Jonathan Zabel, people of Grace Community Church. Okay? This is what these homosexuals stand behind. They take the big toe and they give me a shot. It's either a shot or one of these. And it is painful, people. And if this is what they're using now, before I'm really ordained and really regarded as a leader in the church, what are they going to use if I did become an acceptable leader in the church? It's not going to be this. It's going to be a knife. And God knows what else. These people are not straight in their thinking. There's something wrong with the situation. And you, as Americans, have overlooked it for too many years. This Haitian woman should not be getting away with shoving this in somebody's heel. This is not a toy. This thing here this is painful. You understand? It is painful. You can't go to sleep at night because you know that you're going to wake up in the morning in throbbing pain. I mean, my thigh. You understand what I'm saying? My thigh. She's been sticking this into my flesh since I was 9 years old. When I was 9 years old, I went to a doctor. They gave me a shot, and it broke. The needle, not the needle, but the syringe broke into my leg. It was so painful. And she's been, ever since then, this is what she's used to judge. Okay? It only needed to happen one time. And she's been using it ever since to judge me. This Haitian woman is heartless. Her and her son are homosexuals who have me captive in this country. I'm being fucked and I'm being raped by these people, these two Haitians and these homosexuals. You understand what I'm saying, Americans? These people have me captive in this country, and they've threatened to kill me when I go back to Haiti. This is what they're doing, and they're never going to stop, because your government is allowing them to do it. Your police department. This is ridiculous. People should be living in fear, not of a needle or a shot, or a pain shot or any of this stuff. People shouldn't be living like this. I go to a church and I get one of these. I preach a sermon, I get one of these. I don't do exactly what I'm told, I get one of these stuck inside of my flesh. This is what MacArthur and Franklin have combined together to judge me with. I don't think that's fair to me. I don't feel like I deserve this kind of judgment. First it was stripping me into nude and beating me with a belt. That was her son's that's what he was using to judge me with. It was a belt on a nude little boy. Now I'm a grown man, and his mother's coming into my home and sexually assaulting me, literally, using my body, raping me, and then after that, sticking this inside of me. I would love to shove this in her breasts, you know, and shove this in her, around her vagina, or even take the thing and shove it in it, just so that they understand how painful it is. I like to take 100 of these and stick it inside of her feet, and in her hands, and in her arms, and in her legs, so she knows how painful it is, and to just leave it there, and then wake her up afterwards. People shouldn't be living like this. It's not fair. The government should stop ignoring these warnings. How many times a day do I have to call 911? I don't know. Why don't you try it at home? Go into your desk drawer or wherever you keep your needle points and one of these, and I don't know, just, you know, tap it. Just take it and you see your finger right there. This is the nail. You see the nail? Stick it underneath the nail, right here. Right here. Shove it in there. She's done that to me so many times. She shoves it underneath the nail. All of these fingers, right here, right? She does it with the toes too. She shoves it underneath the nail. It's really painful. And she takes the same object and she scrapes, you know? She scrapes right here. She scrapes it. She does it underneath the nail. She scrapes the finger. Or she'll cut my clothes. You would be amazed how much power an old woman have with this in her hands. And how much pain they can give your body. They can stick it in your tongue. They can stick it in your ear. They can stick it in your toes, in the ball of your feet, on the inside of your foot, in between your toes. This is right here is a weapon. You see how small it is? And how painful it is also. And the Klan and the gay community, the males, white boys, gay white boys, will climb through the window of my apartment. And they will open the window. I don't know how. Okay, they open the window. I want to show you something. I want to show you something. That's my window. When you take this, and you put it in the window, like I did, right? And you take this, see that right there? And this right here? And that right there? All of that. All of that is supposed to stop the window from opening. So I don't get one of these. The woman who is the manager of the building is a replica of my mother in Scott Urbanus. My mother's a Haitian woman. I want to introduce you. Can you see her? That's her. The one in the middle. That's what she looks like. Right there. Right there. Any American woman that looks like her, okay? Any American woman that looks like her may be representing her in the community, or those women have taken her position. There's the other woman, the Haitian woman that comes in here and does all the piercing. She's the enemy. She's the opposition. She comes in here every night. She's the offender. This is the offender. Okay? She's the sexual assault. She's the one that does all of the piercing. This is the woman with the needle. Her. Right there. Right there. See? Her. She's the one. She's the one. She's the one that does all the piercing. Right? She's the sexual assault. She's the assailant. From 1981, right there, to 2012, she's the child abuser. She's the sexual offender. Right? She's the conspirator. Right there. That's the woman. She's the one that comes in every night and does what I'm reporting to you as a people. Okay? She's the one I like to stick the needle in. Understand? Her right there. She's the one that does this. She's about 5 feet tall. She's brown skinned. And she's Haitian. And she's a dangerous woman. And she's a sexual offender. Both her and her son, Guy Franklin. And they're supported by MacArthur and the gay community. It's not that big of a report, because some people get shot and killed. But when you're dealing with something like this for 27 years, repeatedly, every single day, to the point where you lose fellowship with the church, and you lose church support, and you can't have any connection with the body of Christ, and you catch a terminal illness, and homosexuals are going in and out of your life, and the police department is putting you in hospitalization, and the police department is hospitalizing you and doing all these things against you on account of what she is and what she's doing. Somebody needs to respond. There's got to be somebody out there who's watching this, listening, paying attention. How can anyone not know this is going on? How can anyone not know this is what's happening? Or is it that everybody knows what's going on and what's happening, and they've accepted it? What would you do if they were sticking this inside of you every single day? Jonathan Szabo, you and Alan Paul, you and Gerardo Hernandez should get one of these. You, MacArthur, should get one of these. You homosexuals with your snakes around your neck, somebody should shove a whole box of these on your genitals and in your scrotum and give you back the pain that you've given to me. Somebody should take these and shove it in your arms and shove it in your hands and shove it under your feet to give you back the pain that you've given to me. Just so that you know what it feels like. Because it doesn't feel good. That Haitian woman is not a family member. And I don't owe her sex. I don't owe her love. I don't owe her submission. I don't owe her anything. Whatever garbage is in your community, keep that garbage in your community. Don't bring it over to the church side, because the church don't need it. Stop threatening us. Stop molesting us. And I guarantee you, if you're doing it to me, you're doing it to other members of the New Testament church. You're doing it to other members of the New Testament church. And some of them are getting snakes, and they're getting bitten. And Barack Obama, you should be ashamed of yourself, because I told you that they were doing this. You and your administration knew that this is what they were using. And I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's cute. If somebody took 10 and 15 and 20, even 100 of these and stuck it into every part of your body and gave you pain, that still wouldn't be enough to satisfy me for as many times as she's done it to me during the course of a week. As a president, I wish I could shove this in your hands and shove it under your feet to give you the same pain that she's been giving to me. All the time you've been in authority as a president, she's been sticking this under my feet. She's been sticking this over my feet, every part of my body. And you are a careless, heartless homosexual who apparently has the same face as her. And you think that you're going to get away with this. I pray to God that you will be judged for what you've done in protecting that Haitian woman. Because you're no president to me. You're a coward and a homosexual. You're just like your name says, you're an abomination. And you've allowed her, a sexual offender, to get away with more than murder. If I was shot and killed, it would have been one thing. But for her to do this repeatedly under your protection and under your order, that's a cheap shot that even the devil wouldn't have taken. You know, my video earlier didn't contain any of this information because I didn't think it was needed. But this is what I'm left up to with, you know what I mean? I literally have to give the church, this is what's going on, church. This is what they're doing. You know, and the homosexuals in the building these days, they call themselves the church. You know, they're queer men who spend all day, every day, you know, ask yourself, where is the Church of Jesus Christ? What's the power of salvation in these congregations? There is none, because they're too busy giving each other blowjobs. They're too busy eating each other's buttholes. They're too busy having anal sex with one another, turning each other into females, or turning blacks into slaves, or turning blacks over to sexual immorality and slavery. One way or another, sin is somewhere involved. Immorality is somewhere involved. And these people, they don't give a shit about Jesus Christ or the ministry. You know, the last video was, they took out the sound. I wouldn't be surprised if the sound in this one is also removed. You know? Those of you who know her, and those of you who've seen her in the community, watch out for this woman. There's a white woman who lives in the same building as me, probably on the 3rd floor. The threat was she was going to punch me in my mouth. And the words of that woman has carried into the community. And it was the same voice that called me a nigger. And so now this is how they as a gay community work. It begins with her and the needle, and then they took a white woman that has the same face as her, who's a Klans woman, and put words in her mouth. I'm gonna punch you in your fucking mouth if you don't shut the fuck up. Those were the words told to me by a woman that resembled her. And then when the Klan took it, they took it outside while I was preaching. The face of Bob Jones, her words, or the words of the woman that was representing her. It's the most complicated community I've ever had to deal with in my life. But that's how they deal with people in the world. That's how they deal with people in the world. You only need one of these to start a whole forest of fires. This is how confusing they are. As you want to talk about depravity? You heard me cursed a few minutes ago, but that's not even the beginning of it. You want to talk about depravity? There are shit-eating people. What do you expect? Can you see that? Can you see his face? I want you to get a clear view at his face. You see his face? You see his face? That's the man who's behind her. He's the one that gave her the authority to do what she's doing. This is our history with their race. Slavery, right? Slavery, right there. The Klan, right? And then lynching. You see the lynching? Here's the lynching, slavery, the Klan, and then here's the burning of the crosses. White pride. That's what I'm dealing with right here. That's what I'm dealing with right here. On account of him. That's his issue with me. That's why I'm getting one of these. Him and her combined together. His authority opens the door. She judges with this and the raping. This is the history that we're dealing with here. Okay? This is the history where it's coming from. All right? This is who he is. This is the root of his people. This is what makes him who he is here. And how long has this been going on? Look, what does the poster say? 91 to 2001. MacArthur's a racist Klansman and a homosexual. When I put up that poster in Seattle, what was the response of the public? There was none. What was the response of the church? There was none. When I showed it to the manager here in this building, nothing. It's like I haven't even spoken to anyone. This is the history of these people. We're in Thanksgiving 2013. Do you know where they want me to spend Thanksgiving? Western State Hospital, or the police to be arrested, so this Haitian woman could continue to sexually assault me and stick these in my body, so I could lose my apartment and my furniture and the book that I have at Holy Fire Publishing. This is what they've been doing. This is what modern day slavery and the Ku Klux. You want to know what it's not what the New Testament church leaders are doing today. It's what these people are doing today. What are the African slaves doing today? They're becoming presidents? Oh no. The presidency of Africans in America? Through Barack Obama. Barack Obama is just playing along. These people are still the enemies of our people. You think that they're under us? You actually think that they submitted? Right here. You think they submitted to us? They never submitted to us. I mean, this right here is the history of our people from slavery, right? to lynching, right? From being slaves, to being lynched, right? And this is what we're fighting. White pride, white power, and this, right? So from slavery to lynching, now to this. And you think these people right here submitted to us? No. This is who they are today. When they're cleaned up, this is what they look like. But their foundation, their history, and who they are remains the same. This is what we're still dealing with, right here. Right there. This is what we're still dealing with. That's why I'm getting this. You see? Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed at all. We haven't gone that far. What are you going to do with the information that I just gave you? You can probably fill up a video 2-3 hours of information, right? The information that you have is probably more than the little bit of stuff that I'm saying to you here right now, right? So if you didn't hear the first video and it was bad, well, maybe this video can help. I don't know. You know, maybe this will give you a more live, a more realistic, you know, there's no tie and no shirt and no pulpit. You know, it's 4:56 in the morning, you know, and I fell asleep on the bed. And when I woke up the first time, I felt the pain. I said, this can't be. The second time, it was excruciating. And when I looked at my door, if you look at my door from here, you can see that the door is barricaded. You can see that the door is barricaded. In how many different ways? 1, 2, 3 different, 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways. And how did they get in? I don't know. You know, I'm beginning to think that there are these little midgets that are living in the apartment with me. And I don't think that's the case. I just don't understand how they're getting in and getting out and keeping the window locked. I showed it to you. This is the other part of the report. And they're never going to stop. So with the opposition comes the molestation, the physical abuse, the sexual abuse. When they put me out of Grace Community Church and into the world, that was the reason why I was put. Here's and then this is my final thought. You know what they do when people have HIV or any kind of terminal illness in their body? I didn't know that HIV was a sickness that dealt with it deals with your elimination, basically with your shit. And when you're sitting there trying to empty out your bowels, well, you could either use a laxative. You know what these people do? They come into the apartment, and in the milk and in the coffee, in the juice, in the soda, they either use laxative or stool hardener. And do you know that could kill you? You know, along with the little needle that I showed you is the laxative and the stool hardener. You're dealing with a bunch of heartless people. Whether you call them Americans is irrelevant. You understand what I'm saying? Whether you call them Americans is irrelevant. You're dealing with a bunch of heartless homosexuals who takes control of your sex life, who takes control of your Christianity, who takes control. There are a bunch of, this is what the depravity of man has become in American soil. The depravity of man. These people are depraved homosexuals. You understand what I'm saying? They are a depraved homosexual group. And they will destroy the lives of anyone that they don't like, who doesn't submit to them, who doesn't yield to them, who doesn't run with them, who doesn't want to become their property. So, you know, my suggestion to the U.S. government is really reconsider your position on this continent. And furthermore, my suggestion is take the gospel seriously, because there is truth to it. I guarantee you, if God has taken the time to create every single one of us, and has made every single one of us, and has given every single one of us life, breath, and has given us a body and time, there's going to come a time when all of that time is going to be required of us. We're going to have to pay for what we've done instead. You're not helping this Haitian woman at all by giving her permission to do what she's doing. You're not helping the church at all by showing them that you're giving this woman freedom to do whatever she wants. For a man to be preaching the gospel to you for over a decade, and you still considering me to be a member of your LGBT group, you actually think I want to stand with your lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender group? I have their information just like they have Bibles. Don't you mean to tell me the LGBT don't have Bibles? They probably every single member grew up with a Bible in his hands, but it doesn't mean that they believe the book or they believe that God is talking to them through the book. So do we who are Christians or who have been saved out of the world of homosexuality and all the other sins that are there, do we have their information? Yeah, we have their information. We have their pornography, their videos, their books, their magazines. But does that mean that that's how we want to live? No, it doesn't mean that that's how we want to live. Just because you have the information don't mean that that's how you want to live. Sometimes, God calls us to break away from all of that, to walk away from all of it, and to choose a different life. Why won't you allow me to live the life that I want to live, LGBT? Why is it so difficult for you to understand that I don't want to live like you live? I don't have your convictions. I'm talking to you, LGBT and Nanuet, out of Nanuet High School, out of Nanuet Group Home, LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, all you homosexuals. I'm talking to you, New York homosexuals, upstate New York, from the Nanuet Group Home, you, Rivera, you, Ford. You know who you are. You. And all of you are the homosexuals in Los Angeles, from Grace Community. I'm talking to every single one of you. All you homosexuals who were afraid to tell me you are homosexuals and who was watching me from that side and who came after me when I was removed off of Grace Community Church to give me anal sex, to judge me with that Haitian woman until I submitted to you. You homosexuals who've been chasing me since I got here. Remember Ernie the gay fuck? Whatever that meant. But now I understand. How many more years are you going to continue doing this? How many more years are you going to continue chasing after me? When are you going to get it through your thick skull that I have a different conviction and a different mindset than you do? When I showed you my conviction and mindset when I was in high school in the 6th, 7th, whatever grade it was, right then and there you knew that I was a born again. Why didn't you just accept it for what it was? Why did we have to go through this for 30 years? This long, drawn out, bring out Kevin Duclairon and doing this. I'm 42 years old. I'm not getting any younger. My hair is turning gray. You can't see it, but my hair is turning gray. I have nothing. Because you've wasted all my years, LGBT, or Klan, or gay, whatever you're calling yourself these days. I would have never thought that he was one of you. But he is. It's just cleaned up. That's all that it is. And when you deal with him for as long as I've been dealing with him, there is nothing else. Take away the Bible and take away the biblical position and take him out from behind a pulpit of Grace Community Church. He's just like you. In spirit and in truth, he's just like you. He's an American. He grew up on the same stuff that you grew up on. He's an all-American white boy, football player. The kind of guy, he's like a Ford, front line type of guy. Now, if this video gets me hung, killed, beaten, arrested, or whatever, it's because that's what was at the root from the very beginning. That's what you wanted to do from the very beginning. You have a depravity issue, and I cannot resolve it for you. You have a depravity issue with your God, and I cannot resolve it for you. And you keep coming back to me. I'm not the one to resolve it because I gave you the gospel and you didn't believe it. You want me to resolve why you're gay? I can't do that. That's God's judgment against you. Maybe you need to take God at his word instead of coming to me and judging me as if I owe you submission, slavery. I don't owe you submission and slavery because you're queer. Your queer position is your problem with God, not with Kevin Duclairon. Kevin Ernst Duclairon don't owe you sex or submission, Gabrielle and Guy Franklin. Kevin Duclairon don't owe you subjugation and slavery, John MacArthur. I don't owe you anything. You're coming to the wrong guy for the wrong thing. Why do you keep coming back night after night? What? I mean, haven't you tasted my flesh? You know what my dick tastes like. You eat it every night. You've been inside of my butt so many times, I don't even know what to say. Is this how Christian leaders from your congregation talk, John? No, you never allow your Christian leaders to come down this far. But a black man, you would. You would allow a black man to come down this far. How many other blacks are on this level who didn't submit to you as a white Klansman? Who didn't submit to you as a white supremacist? Who didn't submit to your intimidation? Remember, you're 6'5". Who didn't submit to you because you're bigger than they are and you've got more authority? Who didn't yield to you? Who didn't make you their master while they became your slave? How many other blacks are on this level, John? You've been doing this for what? I don't know, 50 years? You got there at the age of 30. And what are you now? 75? 80? How many blacks have you put in this situation on account of your daughter? And we don't want to forget about her. She's the voice inside my head. Right? She's the voice inside my head, Melinda. She's the one that she never shuts up. And the woman with the needle never shuts up. You know, she's on one side and the woman with the needle on the other side, 24/7. Or they're on the microphone. One way or another, right? I don't do nothing all day. Can't work. Can't go back to seminary. Can't go back to church. Can't associate with no church. Can't do nothing. Now tell me, where is Jesus Christ in all of this? You're the leader of a church. You asked me to leave using Kevin Banks. Now I'm on this side. What is it that you want? Now I'm on this side. What is it that you want? Sex every night with the gay community? What is that going to do for you in your Christianity? Sex every night with Gabrielle Franklin? What is that going to do for you? What is that going to do for you? What is it that you want? I've been talking here for, I don't know, almost 45 minutes. And I still don't understand what it is that you want. You're in the background, talking, whispering. And I want to talk to you openly. And if this is about as open as I can open, then this is it. What is it that you want? Ask yourself the question, what do you want? What is it that you want? What are you craving for? My death certificate? What do you want me to claim that Jesus is not Lord and not God? What do you want, Franklin? I started reporting you to the police department when I was 11. Why are you still here? Why are you still calling me brother? I'm not your brother. I told you I don't want to be a homosexual, and I'm not going to be one. But you insist. If I had known back then that the reason why you were insisting was because you wanted me to feed your mother's appetite, I would have just gone back to my own country. I had no idea your mother had such a strong appetite for sex with young people. She's twice my age. If I'm 42, she's at least 80 or 90 something. I had no idea she had such a strong appetite. The woman never stops. I wake up in pain every single night. What kind of humans are you? There's so much to be said, but it wouldn't be worth my time saying it. It wouldn't be worth my time saying it, because you're heartless people. You know that? You're heartless people. You know, you talk about Christian leadership. Not any of you in this generation are Christian leaders. You're a bunch of if you're white, you're a homosexual and a Klansman. You're a betrayer of the faith. You're not even in the faith. What you're practicing in your white congregations is not Christianity. It's homosexuality and clanmanship and slavery. It's not Christianity. You know it and I know it. So what's the point of putting up a front? I'm not even going to waste my time naming names and naming churches. You know who you are. You're a bunch of two-faced homosexuals. And you've confirmed that to me more than once. You would prefer me in your butthole than in your congregation preaching behind your pulpit. You'd rather see me on my knees doing the nasty than on my knees praying next to you. You'd rather see me in a nasty booth than sitting next to you, brother. That's the kind of Christians you are. You'd rather have me humping you in all kinds of ways than giving me the right hand of fellowship. And you call yourselves the church, right?